storms and sunrises, love, loss, and legacy in the next 2 weeks on Days of Our Lives. June will be a whirlwind of homecomings, farewells, confrontations, and celebrations. From the return of beloved faces to the final farewell of a legend, the next 2 weeks are destined to leave a lasting impact. Let's walk through the dramatic developments ahead, highlighting 7 pivotal moments that will shape the heart and soul of Salem from June 9th through June 20th. 1. The return of Tony and Anna DiMera, old flames, familiar faces. Starting the week of June 9th to 13th, Salem will welcome home 2 of its most iconic figures. Tony DiMera, played by the ever-elegant Theo Penglis, is set to make a triumphant return, accompanied by his ever-dramatic and lovable wife, Anna DiMera, Leanne Hunley. Fans have long cherished the unique blend of wit, wisdom, and theatrical flair this couple brings to the screen. Their arrival is sure to stir the pot, and possibly the hearts of those around them. Though their return brings a sense of nostalgia, it is tinged with melancholy. They are not just in town for pleasure or politics. No, this visit has a deeper, more solemn purpose. A beloved friend has passed. And this time, it's not just another dramatic twist. It's a genuine goodbye. 2. Saying goodbye to a legend. John Black's funeral. The heart of the week will focus on the funeral of Days of Our Lives icon John Black, Drake Hodgson, whose death sends shockwaves through the entire community. A towering presence, John was more than just a former ICE agent or Marlena's soulmate. He was a moral compass, a father figure, and a true hero in every sense. His funeral will be a grand, emotional send-off, a testament to a life well-lived and a man deeply loved. Expect heartfelt tributes, flashbacks, and tears as the characters and the viewers mourn his passing. Marlena, Deidre Hall, now a widow, will be at the center of it all, grappling with unbearable grief and the uncertain road ahead. Fans should prepare for moving performances as John's children, stepchildren, and grandchildren all struggle with this overwhelming loss. Whether it's Brady, Belle, or Paul, each of them carries a part of John's legacy, and each will need to decide how they move forward in his absence. 3. Marlena's journey through grief. Widowhood and resilience. For Marlena, the death of her beloved John marks a cruel new chapter. Having stood by his side through kidnappings, brainwashing, comas, and countless dangers, she now finds herself alone for the first time in decades. This next phase of her life will not be easy. Expect a poignant storyline as Marlena is forced to confront not only sorrow but also the very meaning of life without her partner. She must now navigate the quiet moments, the empty spaces, and the painful anniversaries. However, if there's one thing we've learned over the years, it's that Marlena Evans is a survivor. This story arc will likely highlight her resilience and quiet strength as she slowly begins to rebuild her world, supported by family, friends, and perhaps unexpected allies. 4. Johnny DiMera faces the past. Guilt, guns, and a glimmer of redemption while the town mourns. Another DiMera faces a crisis of his own. Johnny DiMera, Carson Boatman, may soon be forced to deal with the consequences of a night gone horribly wrong. While he did not pull the trigger on EJ, Dan Feuerriegel, young Rachel Black, Alice Halsey, saw him holding the gun, and her terrified reaction lingers. EJ remains skeptical, perhaps even quietly convinced that Johnny played a larger role than he admits. And Salem, as we all know, is a town where secrets never stay buried for long. In the coming days, expect tensions to rise within the DiMera household. Johnny may need to clear his name, publicly and definitively, or risk losing everything. His family's trust, his standing, and even his freedom. Will he find redemption, or will this misunderstanding spiral into something more dangerous? 5. Joy amid the sorrow. Paul and Andrew's wedding. As one chapter ends, another begins. In a beautiful twist of fate, the week of June 16th to 20th will bring celebration in the form of a wedding. Paul Narita, Christopher Sean, and Andrew Donovan, Colton Little, will finally tie the knot. Their original dream was to have John present for their special day, and though he won't be physically there, his spirit and influence will loom large. John was an ardent supporter of their relationship, encouraging them to pursue happiness at every turn. In many ways, their union is a tribute to the values John lived by: love, loyalty, and courage. This wedding will offer viewers a much-needed moment of light and beauty. Surrounded by loved ones, Paul and Andrew will exchange vows in a ceremony filled with emotion, elegance, and hope. Expect familiar faces, surprise toasts, and perhaps a dance or two, because in Salem, even weddings carry unexpected twists. 6. Xander Kyriakis in legal trouble. A case builds, but not everything will be champagne and roses. In the background, Xander Kyriakis, Paul Telfer, finds himself facing mounting legal challenges. With the return of Philip Kyriakis, Jean-Paul Lavoisier, the prosecution may finally gain the upper hand. Philip's recovery and potential testimony could be a game-changer. Xander's past crimes have always lingered like storm clouds, and now it seems that reckoning may finally come. But anyone who's followed Xander knows he's more snake than saint. He's cunning, ruthless, and when cornered, dangerously persuasive. Will he resort to blackmail? Bribery? A well-timed alliance? All are possible. And as always in Salem, justice is rarely black and white. 7. A town in transition. Big news and bold moves ahead. The final storyline of this emotional 2-week journey is Salem itself. The town is changing, mournful, yes, but also in motion. New alliances will form. Old feuds will resurface. And dramatic revelations are sure to upend the lives of many. There are whispers of secrets waiting to be exposed. Documents, confessions, and maybe even returns from the dead, as is tradition in Salem. Expect bold moves, shocking twists, and a few scenes that will have viewers on the edge of their seats. As we move deeper into June, viewers should prepare themselves for a roller coaster of emotion. Days of Our Lives continues to prove that even after decades, it knows how to captivate, comfort, and surprise. Next, a heartbreaking farewell and a joyful reunion. Days of Our Lives recap on June 2, 2025. The beloved soap opera Days of Our Lives delivered an episode that tugged at the heartstrings of its loyal viewers, blending profound sorrow with glimmers of hope. For fans who have followed the residents of Salem for decades, this episode was a poignant reminder of the show's ability to weave complex emotions into stories of love, loss, and resilience. With a runtime filled with tearful goodbyes and heartwarming reunions, the episode centered on two pivotal characters, John Black, whose journey came to a tragic end, and Bo Brady, whose return sparked joy amidst the grief. For an audience of viewers over 65 who have likely experienced their own share of life's highs and lows, this episode resonated deeply, offering both a cathartic release and a celebration of family bonds. The final farewell to John Black. John Black, a cornerstone of Days of Our Lives for generations, has been a character defined by his strength, his heart, and his relentless search for identity. Over the years, fans have watched him navigate countless trials, amnesia, espionage, and the ever-shifting puzzle of his past. Yet, through it all, his love for his wife, Marlena Evans, and their children, Belle and Brady, remained his anchor. On this fateful June 2 episode, that anchor faced its ultimate test as John's health, which had shown fleeting signs of improvement, took a devastating turn. The episode opened with a fragile sense of hope. John, lying in his hospital bed, was breathing steadily, his voice soft but present. His doctor, Kayla Johnson, stood by his side, her face a mix of professionalism and cautious optimism. For a moment, it seemed possible that John might defy the odds, as he had so many times before. Marlena, ever the devoted wife, clung to this hope, her eyes searching his for the spark that had carried them through decades of challenges. The hospital room, bathed in the soft glow of morning light, felt like a sanctuary where miracles might still happen. But life, as Days of Our Lives so often reminds us, is unpredictable. Just as quickly as hope had blossomed, it withered. John's breathing grew labored, each inhale a struggle that echoed through the room. The monitors, once steady, began to falter, their beeps a haunting reminder of time slipping away. Marlena, her hands trembling, held John's hand tightly, whispering words of love and encouragement. "You've fought so hard," she said, her voice breaking. "You've always been my hero." The episode masterfully wove in flashbacks that painted a vivid picture of John's life. Viewers were transported to moments of joy and sorrow. John and Marlena's early days, filled with passion and uncertainty. The founding of the Black Patch Detective Agency with Steve Patch Johnson, where John's wit and courage shone, and a particularly poignant memory of John and Marlena on the hospital roof, a time when Marlena herself faced death. These scenes, rich with nostalgia, reminded longtime fans of the journey they've shared with these characters. For older viewers, these flashbacks likely stirred memories of their own lives, moments of love, loss, and the passage of time. As John's condition worsened, Marlena faced an impossible choice. With tears streaming down her face, she leaned close and whispered, "Rest now, my love. You've earned it." In that moment, the weight of their shared history hung heavy in the air. John's breathing slowed, and then, with a final, peaceful exhale, he was gone. The silence that followed was deafening, a testament to the void left by his passing. For Marlena, and for the audience, it felt as though an era had ended. John Black was more than a character. He was a symbol of resilience and redemption. He grappled with questions of identity, who he was meant to be. But in the end, he became a man who loved fiercely and lived honorably. His devotion to his family, his unwavering moral compass, and his quiet heroism left an indelible mark on Salem. For viewers over 65, John's story may mirror their own struggles to define themselves amidst life's challenges, making his loss all the more poignant. A beacon of hope, Brady's return. While John's departure cast a shadow over Salem, the episode offered a counterpoint of light with the return of Brady. Bo, another iconic figure in Days of Our Lives, had been absent from the canvas, his fate uncertain after years in a coma. His story on June 2nd was a testament to the power of family and the will to fight for those we love. In a sterile hospital room, far from the familiar streets of Salem, Bo lay motionless, surrounded by the people who loved him most. His wife, Hope Brady, and their children, Sierra and Sean. The scene was heavy with emotion as the family shared memories of Bo's vibrant life. Hope spoke of their early adventures, her voice tinged with both love and longing. Sierra recalled her father's unwavering support, while Sean reflected on Bo's lessons about courage and integrity. These conversations, interspersed with flashbacks, brought Bo's spirit to life, reminding viewers of his roguish charm and steadfast heart. The episode took a surreal turn as Bo's consciousness transported him to Brady's bar, a place steeped in Brady family history. There, in a moment that brought tears to many eyes, Bo was reunited with his late son, Zach, who had died tragically years earlier. Zach, now a young man in this ethereal realm, greeted his father with a smile that radiated warmth. "It's good to see you, Dad," he said, his voice filled with affection. For Bo, the reunion was bittersweet. He longed to stay with his son to make up for the time they'd lost, but Zach had other plans. "It's not your time yet," Zach told him gently. "Mom, Sierra, and Sean, they need you." Bo's hesitation was palpable. The guilt of past failures weighed heavily on him, and the peace of this moment was tempting. But Zach's words, coupled with the sudden appearance of Hope, Sierra, and Sean in the bar, shifted something within him. The family's presence was a powerful reminder of the life waiting for him. Hope, her eyes brimming with tears, took Bo's hand and pleaded, "You've been fighting for 2 years, Bo, fight a little longer. Come back to us." The scene was a masterclass in emotional storytelling, blending the supernatural with raw human connection. For older viewers, it may have evoked memories of their own battles, times when they fought for loved ones or clung to hope in the face of uncertainty. Bo's struggle resonated as a universal truth. The pull of family can be a force stronger than death itself. Back in the hospital, Bo's eyelids fluttered. The room, once filled with quiet despair, buzzed with anticipation. Hope leaned closer, her nickname for him, Fancy Face, a soft prayer on her lips. And then, in a moment of pure triumph, Bo's eyes opened. The first thing he saw was Hope's tear-streaked face, her smile a beacon of love. "You did it," she whispered, her voice trembling with relief. Sierra and Sean rushed to his side, their laughter mingling with sobs. The Brady family was whole again, their reunion a bright spot in an otherwise somber episode.